Hey, we're continuing to look at these statements of Jesus, the great I ams, the ones that are recorded in the Gospel of John that Jesus said audaciously that claiming to be the one and only God. And I think this is an amazing thing. If you were a Jew, as we've mentioned before, you would know what these I am statements would mean. That Jesus was actually making himself out to be this one and only God, the great Yahweh, the one who was introduced in the incident at the bush with Moses, right? He says that I am who I am, the Yahweh, the one that you almost have to cover your mouth in reverence and awe with. If you were a Jew, you would especially know who he was. So we have these statements, these 7 statements, and we are today talking about the familiar one, I am the good shepherd. Jesus tells the people that the good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. And this is a continual point throughout the Gospel of John, is that Jesus would be the one that would lay his life down for us. And the sheep are those who understand his role in their life, and that they hear his voice and they know it is his voice. I think those are interesting things, because in John chapter 10, where we find this phrase, Jesus is using figures of speech, and the people say, we don't understand it, Jesus, tell us. And so he goes along and tells them who the sheep were and why they should know who Jesus was. I still recall out in the neighborhood where I grew up, and I'd be playing with other kids, and we'd be either on the cul-de-sac where we lived or out in the field where we played baseball and other games. And you know, when dinner came or lunchtime or we had to go away somewhere, parents would come and go and get their kids or yell out to their kids, and they would know. I still would know that when it was time for me to come in, when my dad would whistle, I knew it was his call to me, and I would run home. Here we have that same kind of a thing. If we are believers in Christ, we hear his voice. We know it's his voice. Jesus' job is to protect the sheep, protect the Christian, and it's by his choice. He would tell them that no one can take it from me, but I lay it down on my own accord. That's interesting. I have the authority to lay it down or to take it up again. Folks, God's plan is not haphazard. It's not something that he's coming up on a daily basis. He knows the plan. And his role was to have his son come to the earth in the flesh and be this good shepherd, to lay his life down for us. And by his authority and by his choice, he just set it aside for a moment and sacrificed himself for the sheep. Now that is a good shepherd. Do you know him personally? Are you one of those sheep that can hear his voice? You are safe in the sheep's pen and safe with the fencing around you. Is Jesus your good shepherd? Have you given your life to him? I think those are questions for you to answer. Are you willing to humble yourself before this one that knows you so well and is able to keep you safe and protect you from the wolves of your life, if you will, the calamities and the problems that may arise, and he will keep you safe? This is the promise that the Good Shepherd gave us today. I hope this encourages you. Reach out to him today. Whatever you're facing, he is good. Thank you, church. We'll see you again real soon.